What's up, CGC fam? Car Guy Court here, coming back at you with another video. So the video today is going to be called Your Credit and the Price You Pay for It. What that means is basically what factors about your credit score, and the price you pay for it would be, finance charges, struggles in life. If you can't get a loan on something and you need it at that time, you don't have the time to pay the money for it, then that could be a big problem. So, I'm gonna educate you a little bit on some of that. Also gonna go over some other stuff that maybe you didn't know, maybe you did, so hopefully it helps. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a sheet of paper here. It's actually something that we use here. It's a disclosure of credit when people come into the dealership. So yeah, I'm gonna go over that real quick, do some talking while you're looking at it. So this is what's called a risk-based pricing. It shows the credit score there. The source is Experian. There's 3 different bureaus. There's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Here in the Southwest region of the United States, Experian is the most highly used. So it shows you what you should know about your credit score. It also shows you down here, this is the part I wanted to show you. So this is the bottom 5% of the country, 250 to 499. 14% of the country is 500 to 599. 10% 6 to 649. 14% at 650 to 699. 18 at 7 to 749. Then you got your top 39 at 750 to 900. I've never seen a 900. I've been pulling credit for about 20 years and I've never seen that. So that's just to give you an idea of what I'm going to go over. If you fall in that first category, the 250 to 499, chances are you probably are not getting approved for a loan on anything, because you have to be really bad to be in the 400s. Like you have to work at it. It's not something that it's not something that comes easy. But the good news is there's a way to get out of it. Now you can sit back and just do nothing, and the result will be nothing, right? Or you can make a decision to invest $99 a month and go with a credit cleanup company, or you can dispute the items yourself for free if you would like to do so. It takes a lot longer, but if you don't have the money to spend to do it, call the credit bureau, Experian, call all 3 of them, get a copy of your credit report. They will charge you a little bit for that. I think it's $5 per report. Get the report, dispute any items that are on there that you don't agree with, or just dispute all of the negative items, because they will remove them if no one responds within 30 days. So federal law states that if you dispute an item on your credit and the creditor does not respond within 30 days, then it has to be removed from your credit. So why not dispute all of them, right? Maybe all of them won't respond, maybe everything will come off your credit. Now, the 500 to 599 category, that is still not great, but you can get some things done with that. If you have a little bit of cash down, or you buy a brand new car that has rebates on it, you can probably do it with 0 down, as long as you have good job time, you've been at the same residence for a while, and you make enough money to budget the payment that whatever the payment is on the car you're looking at. Now, one thing that I want to go over as well about this while I'm in this section of credit score is that if you are in the 500 to 599 area, all hope is not gone. You can, like I said, you can come in and look at a new car and probably with the rebates that are available on a lot of these new cars, no money down, walk out of here with a new car. Now, one thing that you need to understand though is that, you know, what would you think when you walk into a car dealership? I need to look at the least expensive car, right? That's 99% of the time that's what happens. People come in and they think, I need to look at, you know, an $8,000 to $10,000 car because I want a low payment. If you have a 500 to 599 score, a bank is not going to finance you on a car that's usually older than 5 years and more than 50,000 miles. Now, that's not the standard, but that is pretty common. Now, yeah, so don't go into a dealership and think you need to look at a cheaper car. And guys, let's face it, if you're looking for a $200, $300 payment, that's a cell phone payment these days, guys. The average car payment is anywhere from, on a used car, probably $350 to $500, and if you're looking at new, you can expect to be in the $500-600 range if you're in this $500 to $599 range. Now, obviously, if you're in the $750 to $900 range or the $700 to $749 range, then absolutely, you know, you can put some money down, go longer term, have a low interest rate. All of those things make a difference. So, but when you're in a situation where you're beginning or trying to start credit, you're gonna have to take a little bit of advice from the dealer. Hopefully, you know, here we want to help people get their credit started so that we can sell them more cars. Now, not all dealers will do that. They'll just try to sell you whatever they can make the most money on. Unfortunately, that's kind of the way it works. But so what I mean by the price your credit and the price you pay is, if you're in the 500 to 599 range, you're probably going to be looking at about 13 to 19%, depending on how much money down you put, you know, your credit history, your job time, all of those things that I've talked about before in other videos. Now, 600 to 649, that is a better range, but it's still not great. Now, there's many different levels of 600 to 649. Just because you look at your credit report and it says you're a 650, let's say, or 630, you can probably get a car. But if you're a 630 and you've never had an auto loan, you're what's called a fake 630. What that means is that, you know, you have some little credit card you've been paying on. It still doesn't mean you can just walk in and go, hey, this is what I want and this is what I'm gonna get. There's still gonna be a little coaching. Now, if you're a 640, 630, 640 and you've financed a car before, your chances are gonna be a lot easier, because banks don't just look at your score like I've told you before. They look at your score, your job time, your housing residence time. You know, they want solid candidates. If you've lived at your same address for a long time, been at the same job for a long time, your risk goes down because you're not a flight risk. You're not someone who's switching jobs every 6 months and, you know, may leave the state or do things like that. So the chances of getting a loan at a 630 if you've had an auto loan are a lot better. Now, depends on your payment history as well. If you've paid sloppy, that's going to affect it. There's one thing I want to go over. Consumer websites like, you know, Credit Karma, or this is just my opinion. I'm not obviously an actual like agent of these companies and I don't speak for them, but what I see here is people will come in and go, I have a 700 credit score, and I'm like, what bureau is that? Well, Credit Karma. Credit Karma is a consumer website, so they're not gonna rate your credit as strictly as these actual credit bureaus do, Experian, Equifax. There is a version of those credit, they use a version of those, but there's like 8 different versions on 3 different ones. So there's, you know, there's 24 different credit bureaus or more out there that are being used. Now, They say, hey, I'm on Credit Karma, I'm a 700. They're usually about 50 to 80 points lower on an actual auto FICO score, which is what dealers use an auto FICO score. It's heavily based on auto credit. It's based on all credit, but like good auto will raise your auto FICO score. Good auto payments will raise it faster. $650 to $699 range. Now you're talking decent credit. Again, if you're a $699 or a 700 or even a 750, but you've never had an auto loan and your high credit is $2,000, say you have a $2,000 credit card and that's the highest amount you've ever had, they are not going to buy you on a $20,000, $25,000 car. That is another factor. Your credit limit, your credit high is what they call it. What that means is that if you've had a $15,000 loan on a car before, they'll probably go to 30, like I've said before. But yeah, just because your score is 750 doesn't mean you're a real 750. A fake 750 is someone who's got one credit card and hasn't established auto credit or a mortgage or anything like that. Now, if you're a 750, fake or not, you're probably going to get approved, because there are banks out there who are score driven that will auto approve some of those, as long as you've been on the credit bureau, you've had a file for more than 2 or 3 years. Now, if you've had it for 1 year, it's going to be a lot tougher. $650 to $699 range. Like I said, that's starting to get up there where you can start to buy kind of whatever you want. But again, it's going to be based on your income. It's usually about 15%. So if you make $3,000 a month, you budget for about a $450 car payment. And some banks will do 20%, depending. Credit unions will mostly do 20%, so you could go up to like 600. But yeah, that's something to think about. If you're going to look for a car, take your income and times that by 15%. Your gross income before taxes, not what you take home. Your gross monthly income is what the banks look at. So, and that's not the absolute hard written rule. There are ways to get a higher payment. If you've got a better credit score, sometimes they'll go to 25%. It just depends on the lender. There's a lot of different things when it comes to talking about credit, guys. So I'm not the say all be all. All I'm trying to do is give you simple tips that educate you a little bit. So when you go to purchase a car, get a credit card, anything like that, that you have a chance. Like, you have an idea of what's going on. Now, so when you go to a car dealership, unless you come here and see me, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to explain all these things to you while you're here. Most dealers are not going to take the time to do that because they're too busy. They have too many people in the door. We are a smaller store, so we can take better care of our customers. We can spend more time with them and show them more and teach them more. We rely on, like I said, repeat business. So I'm not going to just sell you a car and kick you out. I'm going to sell you a car and tell you, hey, if you drive this for 2 weeks and you can't figure out some of the buttons, some of the things, come see us and one of us here will take care of you and explain it to you again, because it's a lot to take in. If you're going from a 10-year-old car to a new car, there's a lot of difference there. So in the 700 to 749 range, as long as it's within your debt to income, payment to income ratio, you can pretty much buy whatever you want if you're a real 700 with established credit for years and you've been making payments. And then above that, 750 to 900, again, you can do whatever you want. So in the 600 to 649 range, you're probably going to be looking at 9 to 12% interest. But one good thing about being in that 600 to 649 range is you're just on the verge of getting into 700. If you buy a car and you make payments on it for 6 months to a year, chances are you can refinance that at a local credit union in your town, or somewhere, and get your interest dropped in half, because your credit score will go up greatly if you make the payments on time and you don't have any medical collections or anything added to after you make the purchase. 650 to 699, it depends on your credit depth. Now, you could probably get 7%, 6%, You could also probably get 13% if your credit's bad, like you have a high score but you don't have a lot of established credit. And then in the 700s, you know, there's rates as low as, depending on the structure of the deal, like if you put a lot of money down, you can get in the high 3s right now. If the manufacturers have like a 0%, that's available. That's not always going to be available though. That's just when they do specials because they're trying to move product. So yeah, hopefully this information was useful for you guys. Stay tuned for some of the stuff that I've got coming up. Going to be some big things. Going to be doing some cool stuff. You know, I've been doing a lot of driving in the Blue Beast. I'm gonna put up some footage. I got that GoPro, I've been using that, so soon we'll have some cool stuff. Now also remember, if you're watching this video and you haven't yet done so, please subscribe to Car Guy Court, man. I'm just trying to get to that 1,000 mark and keep going from there, and just trying to spread positivity and love to everyone, because we all need to work together. If we all work together and help each other, the sky's the limit. If we start, you know, tearing each other down, then, you know, we could destroy a lot in a short period of time. So just you know, take care of your family and friends, loved ones, and take care of the people that take care of you. And the people who are rude to you or mean to you, just ignore it, guys, because usually when people are treating you badly or you're having a hard time with someone, it usually has more to do with them than it does you. So remember to own up to your own mistakes, your own greatness, your own everything. Don't take on other people's stuff. That doesn't mean don't help your loved ones if they're in a tough situation, but yeah, just, you know, try to do what you can to better your life and the people around you. We're sitting about 627 subscribers while I'm recording this. It may be higher by the time you see this, but let's get to that 750 so we can have a live with myself and my buddy Jeremy Barrett from The Life of Jeremy Barrett, and we can explain exactly what's going to be in the merch bags, that kind of stuff, and exactly what's going to happen with the ride and drive, meet and greet. Yeah, so see you later, guys.